A global market research analyst for Prudential Financial. While there, she conducted over 70 financial behavior studies, including the Obama's Veterans Initiative. During her final year at Prudential, she helped the company's annuities division grow from number 16 in service to number 4, helping the company save $6 billion. After leaving, Rich founded the Wealth Factory with a mission to provide equal access to financial literacy across the world. Today, her company designs Wealthy Life financial literacy education technology games. The online games are supported by a financial curriculum, programming and activities, walking people from birth to retirement in 12 subjects. The first game, released its titled Credit Stacker, like Candy Crush, allows users to swap colored pieces representing the 5 major credit types to pay off debt, achieve a high credit score, and learn from the multiple choice questions. It has been named the best financial literacy product in the country by the White House, Department of Education, and J.P. Morgan Chase. In August 2017, the company launched the full product version of Credit Stacker, exceeding 200,000 downloads in 60 countries in 21 languages in 2 weeks. In fact, each year, the Google Top 50 Apps department selects 10 apps they feel are the most promising in the world. The Wealth Factory's goal is to transform financial marketing to financial education while reducing poverty, increasing financially savvy citizens, raising financial product ownership, and building better financial ecosystems. In early 2017, Rich also released her first book, The History of the Black Dollar, with the foreword written by Dr. Maya Rockeymoore. Later that year, she was honored to be named Hamptonian of the Year and helped found the Hampton University Entrepreneurship and Innovation Institute. She is also a proud member of the 2016 HBCU 30 Under 30, Hampton 40 Under 40, and Google Top 30 Black Female Founders. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a Pittsburgh welcome to our keynote speaker, Miss Angel Rich.
Good afternoon, Pittsburgh. I feel so short behind this podium. I'm gonna walk around it a little bit, okay? Okay, y'all bear with me. Because y'all not gonna be able to see me behind there. Okay, I originally was gonna talk about a different subject, but I'm now going to talk about the absence of disadvantage, being disadvantaged. I am so inspired by the speech that Mr. Nels just gave that as a global market research analyst, I believe what he just said was so powerful, and I want to unpack it a little bit, especially in an organization that focuses on African American scholars, where we don't have the privilege of having the absence of disadvantages. When I first was in high school, during my senior year of high school, I did not plan to go to college at all. In fact, I had never even been to a college before. No one in my family had been to college. No one in my neighborhood had been to college. It wasn't a subject. It wasn't something that I even planned to do. And as people started to get back their acceptance letters, my 12th grade teacher asked me where mine was, and I was like, I'm not going to college, who's paying for that? Coincidentally, someone from the military visited the school, and they told us that they would give us scholarships if we joined the military. I actually have lost 100 pounds. I, to this day, have never run a mile in my life. And I was going to join the military so that I could go off to college and be with my friends. But when the general called the house, my mother cursed him out, told him not to ever call the house again, And she was like, if you want to go to college that bad that you were willing to join the military, I will figure out a way to pay for you. And I believe that that is the very essence of privilege, where you're born into a family where before you're even born, they already have your college fund set aside for you. Your parents have already gone to school. Maybe even your grandparents have gone to school. They have a host of different colleges that they start networking you with. Maybe you're a member of Jack and Jill. Maybe you're a member of F.A.M.E. I'm so jealous of these students. Y'all have no idea. You have no idea. In my school in elementary, the teacher had to look outside to check whether or not it was a current drive-by to let us out for recess. That is a true story. So to be amongst students, and we were joking earlier, we heard them going back and forth with each other over who had the best private school. It was like, that was amazing. So in an era where we don't have this sort of privilege, there's a theory called performance, image, and exposure by Harvey Coleman, where 10% of your success comes from your performance, the other 30 is from your image, and then the final 60 is from your exposure. So we're gonna walk through those. Your performance. I was a straight A student in college, and I never was off of the honor roll in high school. Yet it was not even a plan for me to go to college. This did not make sense to my teacher. So that would lead one to say that even with your performance, it would make sense why that would only be 10% of the battle. Because if you don't have the image and the exposure, where does that lead you? So to even get your foot in the door, if you hear me correctly, students, your performance is not what determines your success. Your performance is what determines your ticket to enter the door. Okay? So you first of all got to be the best at what you do. There's no days off. I've had, 5 hours of sleep in the past 5 days. I've been in 3 countries and 3 states in the past 24 hours. I just got here from Rome. But I'm here for the students. And also remember to give back. And so it's like the hustle never stops. You have to be on your A game at all times. At one point, I made straight A pluses, and I made it my goal to get nothing less than 100 on everything that I turned in that year. I'm the first person, and probably still the only, to ever turn in my college thesis on the first day of class. And it's because I was writing papers for the seniors my sophomore and junior year. So that's just getting in the door, okay? And it's like, what do other people think of you? Now, I give this speech called Be a Trojan Horse, and I'm not going to beat it to death, but basically what I say is, allow people to underestimate you. That's right. Yes. Sometimes people go around choosing the wrong moments to prove themselves. And I recently did a TED Talk on it, so y'all can watch it. It's on TED Talk. And let people underestimate you. The Trojans built a horse, the enemies of Troy built a horse to allow them to think that they were offering them a gift. And once they were inside of the gates, they didn't just jump out and say, aha, I got you. They then waited until they were drunk and asleep. And then they attacked. And then they took down their walls. You wait for the right moment. You let people underestimate you. And while they sleep, then you destroy them. Okay? Now, once you have destroyed them, you then have an image that you are a conqueror. You then go down in history. You then have 1,000 years from now people talking about, oh, you remember how they destroyed them? That's then what people are thinking of you when they even hear your name. Then we have to move on to exposure. Who knows you? Who should know you? Who should know you that knows someone? That's where I live. I plot on who do I want to know. Okay, I put out a tweet about a week ago, and I listed 12 people that I want to meet this year. 2 of those people personally reached out to me, and 4 people gave me their mutual contact and reached out to me, and I didn't even know, and said, hey, I'm a mutual contact with this person. Here's their contact information. Tell them that I sent you. So within a day, by the end of that day of me putting that out into the world, I had half of the contacts that I wanted to meet information. So research has been conducted to say that your success and your value and your likelihood to actually get something from someone comes from the 2nd and 3rd degrees of communication. So people tend to spend too much time focusing on their friends or their current direct circle, but it's really who knows someone that's in your circle. And why? Why? Because they had to have already vouched for your performance and your image to even get to that level of counting your exposure. And also remember, every boss got a boss. So they didn't have to go and tell their boss who you are. So I'll give you an example. My VP of Communications, Cameron, his mother is Director of Athletics at Hampton University, and her boss is the President of Hampton University. So I'm not focused on impressing Cameron. I'm focused on impressing his mother. Y'all get my point? Because we do not have the absence of the disadvantage to walk in a room and say, this is who I am and this is what I've done. We have to have the image and exposure. We have to have that 2nd degree counting on us. And oftentimes, we're even harder on each other than we should be.